Welcome to the video on the Kaplan method for infographics. My name is Lola, and in this video, you'll learn how to identify and analyze infographics on the exam, as well as how to apply the Kaplan method to them. First, you'll learn the Kaplan method, and then you'll get a chance to apply it.
The first step is to read the question thoroughly to determine exactly what you're trying to solve for. Additionally, look for information within the question stem that will point you to certain parts of the infographic. Step 2 is to examine the infographic in detail. Pay attention to the specific information, numbers, and relationships that were mentioned in the question stem. On the infographic itself, identify all units, labels, and titles, as well as any trends that may be apparent. On test day, it's also helpful to circle the parts of the infographic that are especially important. For example, on this sample infographic, you would circle the vertical axis title if that's what contained the information you were looking for. You'd also notice that this has an upward trend. And step 3 is to predict the answer and find that prediction among the answer choices. Remember to always predict the answer before you peek at the available choices. Doing so will help you identify the correct answer quickly, as well as helping you avoid any potentially tricky wrong answer traps. Now take a look at the method in action. The Kaplan 3-step method for infographics can be used on various different types of infographics you'll see on test day. Step 1 is always the same, to read. Take a moment to read this question stem now. The question is asking for the likely effect of mandating seatbelts in all seats. Step 2 is to examine the infographic presented. Note that the information given is the seatbelt use in rear seats only. On test day, it'll often be helpful to circle and pay close attention to the key given. In this infographic, the blue line represents states requiring seatbelt use in all seats, while the green line represents states that only require a seatbelt in the front seat. Note that at every point along the graph, the blue line is higher than the green line, meaning that rear seatbelt use is higher in states that mandate it. To predict an answer to this question, you can state something along the lines of mandating the rear seatbelt use is effective. So it is likely that if all states were to mandate the use of all seatbelts, rear seatbelt use, and thus overall seatbelt use, would increase. Take a moment now to memorize the 3 steps of the Kaplan method for infographics. Step 1, read the question and determine what you're solving for. Step 2, examine the infographic for the appropriate information. And step 3, predict the correct answer before you peek at the choices.
Using the Kaplan method every time you see an infographic on test day will help lead you to the correct answer quickly and efficiently.